Hi, and welcome to the Rebel Ballerina Show. I am your host, the Rebel Ballerina, Lisa Loree. And so I'm wearing this shirt today and sitting here. I'm just going to go on this funny story tangent here for you. And it says, point those, and then there's a T. And my boyfriend says, what's the T for? I'm like, you're probably thinking tits, right? He just starts laughing. It's toes. Point those toes, which makes sense for me wearing this since, I'm a ballet instructor and a ballerina. But it made me laugh because it's like, yeah, point those tits really isn't so applicable for me since I kind of don't even have any. But that made me think of something else that is just really hilarious that I used to work at Hooters. And that's really funny because I'm like really flat chested. Not totally flat, but I mean, yeah, pretty flat. And I just think it's hilarious. And my daughter thinks it's hilarious too. Every time I bring it up, she just starts laughing. She's like, Mom, how on earth did you get a job at Hooters? I'm like, push up bra. That's the only saving grace with that. However, my legs and butt rocked the little orange shorts that went with the little tops with the owl and the big eyes. Anyway, but it just made me think of funny things in life that don't seem to fit, but somehow they do. It's bizarre. That was just one of those jobs that I had while I was dancing full time at Ballet Arizona because unfortunately, with all the amount of training that we ballerinas do, we don't get paid near what we're worth, and we're not paid near what our other athletic counterparts um, get to take home. So, your professional athletes that you see on TV, blah, 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 your, first string, they're making the huge bucks. You still have people on that team that are just sitting on the bench the whole time. They're still making a decent amount. They're not making what those superstars are, though. The ones out on the field, on the court, they're making huge money. The ones on the sidelines, they're still making a decent amount, but that's also not near what the people on the field are making. And then you have us ballerina types who probably aren't even making what the janitor makes. And I don't know, do you have special training for cleaning toilets? Anyway, so we we really do our thing just for the love of it. Absolutely for the love of it, because it is so meaningful in ourselves, in our bodies, and what we can do on stage, and what it does for the audience, what we're conveying, what we're bringing about. It really is an ethereal thing and otherworldly. So yeah, we just do it for the love of it. The highest paid ballerinas, they do get a fairly good amount, but it's nowhere near what the superstars in our other athletics are able to take home, not even close. Therefore, I've always had to have another job in order to actually pay my bills and feed myself. And restaurant jobs were kind of cool in the sense that feeding myself meant I got to have some decent food with a discount, so that was good. Otherwise, I ate at Taco Bell all the time. And not to give a shout out to Taco Bell, to truth be told, my daughter used to work at Del Taco. And when she started working there, she's like, Mom, they actually have real food. So now I ate at Del Taco. But back in the day, it was Taco Bell. And the food is so stinking cheap that I could afford to buy a lot to feed myself because I eat a lot of food. And I'll tell you what, it was really nice to have my restaurant meal because that was definitely an actual meal. So I worked at a few different places. One was, where did I start? Oh, the fish market, something fish market type thing. I was just hostessing there. But then I got to move on to the Good Egg, which is a breakfast and lunch place. And I hostessed, but then I did a tiny bit of serving there. Then I went to Baker Square, which is, a really a kind of an upper end on the diner type thing, and a waitress there. And the other thing that I loved about Baker Square is I'm a pie person. Cakes, not so much. Pastries, yeah, like donuts and, light flaky pastries, but cake, not so much. Pies, ooh, that's my thing. And I literally had a slice of pie with every single shift. It is a darn good thing I was dancing so much. But anyway, and then I also cocktailed at a place that was just a bar. So I cocktailed and then I got my job at Hooters. So I had both the serving and the cocktails. So that made it a perfect match for working at Hooters because it's both food and drink and all of that fun stuff. And there you go. That's how I ended up working at Hooters. I was in really, really, really good shape. But again, it is just really funny because there were no boobs. But it really does bring up the question, why are we not paid? It's just, oh my gosh. And how do we tap in the ballet world? How do we tap into that kind of money for the amount of work that we do? Because for my field and people like me, I started when I was 3. And I did a cursory calculation of hours over the time from 3 to 18 when I signed my first professional contract was about 10,000 hours. And definitely by the time I was 13 years old in high school, 13, 14, I was putting in 40 hours a week between dance classes, private lessons, and rehearsals for performances. So that's a lot of time. That is a hell of a lot of time for a childhood to be spent very focused on this one thing, right? So most people, by the time they're 18, the only thing that they've done consistently for that kind of hours is, well, breathe. Eat, maybe? Not even that. So it's amazing the amount of time that we put in. And it's like all of your Olympic athletes, your gymnasts, figure skaters, that sort of thing, the elite, starting pretty young, devoting that kind of time. And the sad thing is that there are a lot of people who do that, but very, very few who actually get the contract. So I am pretty amazed and grateful that I was actually able to accomplish that. But in that, still is like, well, okay, so compared to the other athletes, they might start as kids. And these days, that's actually true. There are so many more kids who are starting younger in the athletic things like football, basketball, baseball. Little League's always been there, but flag football, true too. But the really hardcore training normally doesn't start or had not started back in my day for those things until, probably junior high or high school. So here you have athletes who have spent less time, in other words, in the training, making extraordinarily huger amounts of money. And yes, I like to make up words or expand on words that exist because, English is stupid enough. Why not? Anyway, so Jimmy has been pulling up information for me. So I would love to see what he came up with different things. There's me. Well, there was me. Well, now there's really me live. There's me. This is part of my website. And this is my quiz to find out how much fun is being stolen from you right now. the fun quotient quiz. A very, very smart thing to do because it's a good starting place. Because one thing we need is awareness. If you're not even aware that you're not having fun, or well, you're having fun, but there's a lot of fun of life that's being stolen from you because you're not living fun. If you're not aware of that, then how in the world are you going to fix it? You can't. It's just one of those things. So, anyway, that's my quiz. Take a look at that. Go to rebelfawn.com and then, of course, the slash there with quiz for the fun quotient quiz and find out the answer to that question. And therefore, you can get started with fixing that and actually begin living your fun, not just having fun. And then I know that he was messing around trying to find other stuff for different salaries and things like that. I'm always putting him on the spot. So he's a very kind soul and plays along with me. Thankfully. And we're just going to take a quick view as to what the highest salaries are for ballet dancers, for a ballerina. So we have a very popular one, and she's got a great story. I'll tell you what, she has got a great story. Misty Copeland was not the early starter like most dancers. She started kind of later and still ended up having a really awesome career. But one of the things that she did is she tapped into Under Armour. And that was a really smart move on her part. She got that sponsorship. And that's part of the thing I'm talking about. Because a lot of these athletes and the teams even are making a lot of money because, they wear a swoosh on their uniform. And I'm thinking, shoot, if Nike made point shoes, I wouldn't mind wearing point shoes with a swoosh on them. As long as it's not too obnoxious. But why not? Or a few stripes for Adidas, or however you say it. How do you say it? Adidas? Adidas. Ooh. So, that's part of the thing. And I think the ballet world needs to start tapping into more mainstreamed sponsorships, not just the ballet world sponsorships like point shoe companies, leotard companies, that sort of thing, which are kind of one and the same now anyway, because that's still a closed audience. If we could tap into the mainstream sponsorships, that would make a huge difference. Like, why not Gatorade? I mean, it's not the healthiest thing, but hey, if we could tap into some of these, that would be awesome. So we have $190,000. Wow, to $500,000. That's pretty good, but you have to be the top of the top. Now, that's my point. Even $500,000, and that's the top of the top, including, as this says, the per performance fees. That's how much the guy is making who's sitting on the bench or on the sidelines, roughly, in whatever other sporting type athletics. Whereas their top of the tops are making millions, tens of millions, $20 million, and we're at $500,000 at best. So that's what I'm saying is kind of an interesting thing. So yeah, let's check this out. Oh yeah, $64 million per year. And I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, yeah. I'm just looking at the difference And it would be really interesting to know, like, for hour, what the training has been to achieve these top figures in football compared to the top dancers in ballet. Because again, we start really young in pretty hardcore training for ballet. So it's just, that's always been a quandary, and how to start bringing about some kind of higher equity for ballet. Because I know it's considered an art, and that's one of the reasons why it has struggled here financially, is because it's considered an art, and we tend to forget that it is full-on athletics underneath that art. I mean, it is serious athletics. I have actually trained a football player before, which was really fun. I have trained Marines who had the actual gonads to come in and take my class, and left with a very deep appreciation for ballet, because he was like, "Oh, that sissy stuff." And I was like, "Oh, okay, well, why don't you come and try it?" And he didn't think that anymore when he left. So, okay, let's see. Comparing elite ballet training to a professional American football player reveals one unexpected crossover of supreme physical demands. While one focuses on high impact collisions and brute force, the other on aesthetic grace. Both require elite core strength, explosive power, extreme balance, and spatial awareness. Yep. And I would say we go even farther, because the stuff that we do, I love this. Let me finish this. In fact, many legendary NFL players, from Lynn Swann and Herschel Walker to modern athletes, have used ballet to boost their careers, which is true. The smart athletes, and I will say this with balls, the smart athletes take ballet, because it really is so amazing and will help their performance on the field, as Lynn Swann and Herschel Walker can tell you. It's whether or not they have the balls to do it, and can get over this. Oh, they're all gay. Oh, well, let's see. What is more masculine? Really, what is more masculine? You get to come into ballet class and surround yourself with beautiful women who have nothing on except for a leotard and some tights. Maybe I cut mine off because I can't stand tights. But anyway. So here we are with nothing but leotard and tights on, and the ratio is one guy, there's probably 10 girls in the company per guy. So that's a pretty darn good ratio, wouldn't you say? And you get to put your hands all over these girls on purpose and not get smacked. And you get to be in kick-ass shape yourself. I don't know. That sounds pretty good for a guy. Or you could get pat on the butt by your fellow player out on the field. That doesn't look gay? I mean, come on. What is this? I can't take ballet because then people will say I'm gay. Oh, please. We see you patting each other on the butt all the time out on the field. Give me a break. And not all the guys in ballet are gay. Trust me, they aren't. They just know we're seriously good athletics and artistry combine, and that's ballet. And, not everyone wants to get clobbered on a field. Oh, yes, Fernando Bijones. Holy cow. Holy cow. Now, this was a seriously amazing dancer. And the fun thing is about my story with Fernando Bijones, I never got to meet him personally, but I know his cousin, Betty. She is a good friend of mine, very close friend of mine. And it's fascinating to have that connection now. But this, talk about jumping. Look at that. the thing is, we have to follow music and do all of this with finesse and a smile. We don't get to just hang our tongues out and groan with everything. I love it. The prowess in ballet is amazing. And you know I'm going to harp on it till the cows come home. And that could be a while because who knows how long the cows are out for pasture. But I will harp on it until the universe shrivels up. How's that one? Because that's not going to happen anytime soon, if ever. So, in other words, I will harp on this all the time. Ballet is just superior in so many ways. And if you have a problem with me saying that, please let me know. Go ahead, join this conversation. Please, 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 please do. I would love it. And then come and take my ballet class. And then we could have a further conversation. So I've just laid down the gauntlet for anyone who would like to challenge what I've said. And if you really do want a challenge in life and for your body and for absolute benefits to your health, do come and take a ballet class. 100%. It'd be really fun. Be really fun. Anyway, the disparity between the other athletics and what ballet dancers earn is pretty big, as you can see. So if you have any ideas at all, I would love to hear from you on how we could kind of close that gap a little bit. I'm serious. I am interested in whatever things we can come up with to help pay dancers a little bit more closely to what other athletes make, because we are athletes and we put in the time, big time. And more is demanded of us, literally, in order to do our performances throughout the whole body, through our expression, staying with music, and all of that. It's a lot. And we deserve to get paid. That's all I'm saying. So that's how I ended up working at Hooters. And that's what started this. Point those, not tits, point those toes. Because I don't have any tits, even though I did work at Hooters. But that's it for today. I'll leave you with that. Kind of a roundabout way to get that point across on the disparity of incomes for ballet and other athletes. But hey, hopefully you had fun and enjoyed the time here. I literally would love to hear your thoughts. Please contact me. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. Take that quiz. Let's get going. See where you can start living fun. Have a great day.